US President Barack Obama is continuing his visit to the UK. He'll hold a town hall-style meeting later on Saturday, where he'll answer questions from the British public. He'll also visit the Globe Theatre to mark the 400th anniversary of William Shakespeare's death. On Friday, Obama met British Prime Minister David Cameron. He also got involved in the debate over the UK's membership of Europe, saying he hoped the country would vote to remain as part of the European Union in the June referendum. Well, let's cross live now to London, and we can speak to Simon McGregor Wood, who is following Obama's visit, and he joins me. Simon, what's been the reaction from the UK to President Obama's visit and also the intervention over there?
Well, it's the intervention that everyone's talking about this morning and, of course, all day Friday in that extraordinary press conference with David Cameron, where President Obama made such a personal and passionate case for this country to stay in the European Union. It was expected. I don't think his opinion on this issue is a particular secret, but it's the forceful nature of his intervention. I think that's taken even David Cameron and his supporters, who would have welcomed it, by surprise. As you can expect, the newspapers, many of whom in this country are partisan on either side of the debate. Here's the Daily Express, rather alarmingly perhaps, calling this Obama's amazing threat to Britain. A more somber version of that from the Times, Obama's ultimatum, and one from the I newspaper talking about Obama tells Britain, quit the EU and you're on your own. And I think that's the principal headline, the takeout line from that press conference at the Foreign Office yesterday, when he said, listen, for anyone voting to leave the UK, you need to be very careful, because it will not be simple organising a new trade deal with the US, for example, which is a central plank of the Vote Leave campaign, because we're not interested necessarily in doing trade deals with you. We would much prefer to do a trade deal with you, the UK, as a member of the European Union. That was a devastating blow, I think, to the Leave campaign. Later today, he will be here at the Royal Horticultural Society's hall, no less, to speak to a group of students, where he is expected again to stress his view that the UK is a better ally for the US as a member of the European Union rather than on its own, isolated and outside.
But will his comments have any effect on this special relationship that the US and the UK have shared for so many years, given that he's due to leave the White House in November?
Well, that's true. These are the comments of a departing US president, but he is a president that retains a huge amount of respect and affection amongst the British public. Will his intervention convert into votes for the campaign to stay in the UK? Well, that's the billion-dollar question, I guess. This is a very polarised, vitriolic, divisive debate in this country. It's difficult to overestimate that, and clearly those who want this country to leave the European Union are quite angry about President Obama's what they call unwanted intervention. I think he was quite strong on that issue, saying, listen, the United States is an ally of this country, the United Kingdom. I have an opinion on it, and I have a right to express that opinion. But I think it's absolutely clear that as far as David Cameron and his campaign to remain in the UK is concerned, he and his team could not have scripted this trip better so far. It's a three-pronged attack. It's a presidential opinion piece in a newspaper. It was an almost hour-long press conference at the Foreign Office alongside the British Prime Minister. And again, the last point in that assault, if you like, this conversation, this direct conversation with young British citizens about the future of their country. It's a very concerted, well-thought-out effort by the President of the United States to persuade this country to remain inside the European Union. Will it affect the vote on June the 23rd? I don't know, but I think looking back on this visit, we will be able to say that this may have been some kind of turning point.
Simon, very briefly, other than the horticultural show, which is in store for him, what else is he up to today?
Well, he's got a meeting, as we understand it, with the leader of the opposition, Jeremy Corbyn, and he's got a cultural event, which we have just learnt ties in nicely with the anniversary of Shakespeare's death 400 years ago. He will go later this afternoon to the Globe Theatre, the recreation of the Shakespearean era theatre on the south bank of the River Thames, to watch some Shakespeare, a very British cultural event, and of course tying in with the anniversary of the Bard's demise.
OK, Simon, good to talk to you as always. Thank you.